CPHS Talk, brought to you by College of Public Health Science Chulalongkorn University. Good health is the best wealth. We need health sciences for good health and well-being.
Hi everyone, welcome to CPHS Talk episode 4 by College of Public Health Science Chulalongkorn University. I am Pokket Bongsasulak. Today we have special guest speaker, Dr. Lumi Hermann. He is our alumni who graduated with us. And again, if you see me, I'm not come alone. We also have Associate Professor Dr. Wattasit Siriwong, the Deputy Dean of College of Public Health Science Chulalongkorn University. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ Good evening everyone.
And again, Dr. ไกรวุฒิ กันวิชา สวัสดีค่ะ
Good evening, everyone.
Okay, and before we go to interview with our guest speaker, Dr. Bumi Hermann, I would like to talk a little bit about this episode. This episode is very special because I will show the outstanding student of us who received the HIFA or High Impact Factor Award from CPHS. And before we go to the detail with our guest speaker, I would like to invite Dr. Wattasit to explain a little bit about our program. Please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pokket. So at the College of Public Health Science, we have like 4 programs actually. We have public health, program in public health, both master degree and PhD degree. And the other 2 program is public health science. Both it is the public health science and PhD in public health science. So both of these, we have the student, international student at Chulalongkorn University at the College of Public Health Science. We have about the highest numbers of the student, international student in our school. So our program, like Dr. Bumi today, he learned in public health program that from bachelor degree till PhD degree, and right now he already done his PhD recently. So that is brief our program that we have.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wattasit. And today, as I told you, that we have guest speaker who received the HIFA Award or High Impact Factor Award. So I would like Dr. Kaiwood to explain for the audience a little bit what is the HIFA Award and how can students receive this award?
Right. Thank you, Ajahn Pokket. As everyone knows that when you study graduate school, either master or PhD, right, you also have to publish a paper, your research work, right, for the requirement of the graduation. However, not just only publish, because our college, we also provide a reward. We give a reward for the outstanding student who publish in a very high impact factor of that journal, who get the highest one of that year. We will provide them award, which is a very attractive award from our department chair. I think the price, the reward is about 20,000. Right, yes, 20,000 Thai baht, which is very attractive to our students. So in this year, as Ajahn Pokket mentioned, Bumi is the one who received this reward from our college, right? And his publication published in one of the high-ranked journal, which is PLOS ONE. Well, later we'll let Dr. Bumi give more detail on research and the paper that he published with PLOS ONE.
In addition, before the award, he also get the scholarship from the school, from graduate school, and also from the College of Public Health Science as well to run his thesis, dissertation.
Yes, wow, okay. A lot of information. So Bumi is the one who our outstanding and our proud student who received many scholarship and also received award during the master and PhD life. So Dr. Bumi, could you please explain a little bit about your research and how you feeling after you know that you received the HIFA award, please?
All right, so good evening, everyone, and I hope that, I'm sorry for the ambient, it's quite noisy a little bit, but I hope that everyone is still excited to see me in here. So I will like to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Lumi Hermann. So I'm a medical doctor in a background, and as just graduate from the College of Public Health Science in a public health program and Doctor of Philosophy. And currently talking about my research project, it was about a simple like making a kind of artificial intelligence technique to detect a kind of disease, which I'm concerned about, the tuberculosis. So can you imagine just by using simple application, you can have that kind of things. So usually you have to go to the doctor, but now you can try to get information by the machine that we develop. That's the point.
All right.
Yes,
I think
wow,
that is
interesting. So now we come to the digital era, right?
Right.
Not everything can do online through the machine, through the technology. It's good, interesting. And how about your feeling after you received the award? Please share a little bit to your friends.
Well, I felt excited because I never thought that I'm going to receive this award because like so many people think that publishing in a higher journal is a matter of good quality of work or something like that. But as for me, we are in the PhD in a public health in CPHS did the project good already, but we have no brave to publish more. Maybe because of we are not confident or because we have no money at all. So by having this award means that I want to encourage all the students to just go for a publication in a higher rank journal that you will get this award, you will financially sufficient for this, and then that will be boost your performance and also your curriculum vitae in the future. So that's great idea about what CPSH has offered me through this award.
I think as Dr. Bumi just mentioned, when you do a research, you firstly, you don't really expect you will get the reward, right? And you don't really do it for the reward because you do it, mostly we'll do it for the graduation and for the research, produce the knowledge and things, done the research. But reward is kind of like payback to you after you have received, after you have done a very hard work. All right.
Right. How long for your research that you did?
Actually, it takes like probably around a year because we need to collaborate with taking quite confidential information, which is the clinical data. So that's why we need to go with the hospital, something like that, in order to ensure that all of the process will not violate the rights of the patients because we are going to use the data. But shortly after that, it's just a matter of time and we can publish it like 3 months after that.
And those people those subject is Indonesian people, right?
Yes, mostly of the people in Indonesia in one of the center.
All right. I think this will be a very good, information that you have published, and it will be benefit to the Indonesian and the population who like involved in this study, and hopefully they will be, developed more in the larger scale. Right, and eventually, hopefully everyone can use everyone can use this kind of data set and the application that Bumi have developed. Right.
Okay, I would like to go back to the origin a little bit.
All right.
As you are the medical doctor, right, from Indonesia, why you choose to study with CPHS?
Well, at first, I think that some of the people questioning of why medical doctor learn public health. I think because first of all, public health seems to be really important right now. We have lots of things to talk, like health is not standalone. And then like when I see CPHS, it offers a kind of multidisciplinary approach, which I never thought and I've never heard before. So can you imagine that, so for those people who are live on Facebook, so can you imagine that environment affects your health? Can you imagine that when you want to do a health promotion, you have to think about the health behavior? So that's why I really interested in that public health, and CPHS offer all of that kind of courses, health behavior, environmental, health economics, health and money. Can you imagine about that? So that's why that's my consideration. So, and then like in Thailand itself, we are having the similar situation of public health situation. So that will be not too far from home in Indonesia. And also, like, don't worry, we speak English really well in here in this community. So don't worry, you can learn in here in us in CPH with various multidisciplinary things in public health.
Yeah, exactly. As Bumi just mentioned, right? Public health is not standalone. It is a multidisciplinary, right? So you can, as Bumi just mentioned, his project as well, like involved with many kinds of
Many
data from
projects.
there are many projects, many
Exactly.
section that
Many
combine things
study areas go together.
combine things
Right,
together,
right.
right? Exactly.
I think one point, who is the important one in your research? That is your advisors. Who is your advisors?
So at that moment is Achan Satirakon. He is
Our dean.
Our
dean,
dean,
right?
Our
right?
beloved dean of the College of Public Health Science. Yeah.
So now it was really hard for me sometimes to deal with that. Like, hey, you talk with the health economists, but I learned one thing: health policy and health innovation might not be accepted into the society when it's too costly, when it's not too cost effective. So I learned lots of things from him. So that's why I feel like I have to say thank you to him, because like making this kind of project should be cost effective. Otherwise, it will no longer feasible to anyone who interested in doing the AI in health, because people always think that AI is really expensive or something like that. No, by doing and analyzing everything through the approach of health economics, we can do it.
All right. That's
his
why
son,
you
that-
said a lot of the cost effectiveness. And
Right,
Dr.
right,
Professor Stilagon very keen in this field, that we have the subjects on this area as well.
Right. And from Bumi's project, it's clearly shown that things that he developed, it's cost effective, right? You don't have to do much things. You get the application. You can use this in a very short time to identify whether the patient have this kind of disease or not, or resistant to this kind of medicine or not, which is a very good for treatment for the doctor.
Right. It seems like that you have like the model to predict, right? To predict the disease, right? This is very save the cost for long term, right?
So you just put your information, your age, your gender, or something like that, and it will provide you the risk in a very scientific way. So it increase the boost of the medical staff as well to take a decision, clinical decisions probably.
And what about the physicians?
Sometimes we need to test with, so this is a kind of prototype. So that's why we need to test to bigger populations and probably to the different countries. So that's why in order to do that. But once again, like AI always develop. Like you see, application, we always have to update every moment, right? Every time. So there's also this kind of application. So the more we try to update, the more we will get the precisions. But around this day, the precisions that I got from this application is almost similar to the standard tool that we use to diagnose the resistant drug resistance. So that will be okay already.
That's it's really proof that it's cost effective, right?
Cost effective, right?
Yeah, because it's similar to the standard method that people use it to test. Yeah, which is very good actually.
While I'm listening to Dr. Bumi, I know that he works so hard, and I would like him to suggest a little bit. How can you done quite a difficult work, a hard working, and also how can you manage your time? Or what is the tip or the key point that make you be a successful during the PhD student?
I bet that I have to give 3 keywords which are really important to all the students who will like to conduct a long-term study PhD like this. First is you have to be determined. Determination is important. So you start study, that means you have to focus on everything. So you have to put and dedicate your time for study, determination. And then because if you don't have determination, you will stuck, and in the middle of your study, you probably wants to give up or something. And then the second one is to be consistent. What does it mean by consistent? I mean, like when you do this kind of job prior to go to study, like you do a nutrition program, then just go with the nutrition program. Or you really love to do a health economic analysis, then just go with that, even though your background is quite different. But as long as you're consistent with the topic that you're really interested in, that will be fine. But somehow we still have lots of people that have a different background that wants to try different thing on health. Like somehow like Kunpipat has no idea about the background. So the third key word is important, to be resilient, to be adapt and to be prepared for every change and every possibility of situations that enforce you to change or to grow or to adjust. So determination and keep consistent and be resilient for any plan that you have. That's my point, I think.
It's a very good point. Actually, I think this can be, like all the students who studying, especially in the graduate school, can adapt, can take this advice for studying here, not just only CPHS, but anywhere, right? Determination, consistent, and resilient.
Resilient, yes, 3 points. Exactly. I think it's very useful for the current student who's still listening and our audience who maybe still make a decision that will continue PhD or not, something like that. I think Dr. Bumi can be the inspiration for our students. Thank you very much.
I think Bumi also have the plans, right? Right now, I learned that Bumi also have the postdoctoral fellowship, right, at the college as well. What is your next step from now? Maybe from your research or anything.
So currently, I'm working with the College of Public Health Science again as a postdoctoral researcher. So that's why CPHS offers me a lot and it gives me benefit. It answered my expectations. So I decided to work again with them. And now currently I'm working as a postdoc researcher in the COVID-19 post-COVID symptoms. So I also use some of my previous project using the artificial intelligence to see the tendency of people having a persistent COVID symptoms. And as well, I'm currently analyzing the efficacy of vaccines in preventing the persistent symptoms of after getting COVID. So it's a kind of multinational project. So I've been dealing with some of the universities also in order to do that because it is really hard to talk with COVID and then we need to go in time because like mutation happens everywhere and then we need to get the data as soon as possible.
That's a very good plan. I think after he done his project in postdoc, we will get even more knowledge and like more output and outcome.
And maybe from interesting innovation, the new one.
Right. Eventually, we may invite you to come back here again to talk about that project again in the future.
Right. Actually, I just used my old project in a PhD, so it's no longer take a time from the beginning again. So it just changed the code. Okay.
And I hope that this current research would be generalized to others country as well. I'm not sure that the new project is focusing on Indonesian peoples or in Asian people or any group, but hopefully it is generalized visibilities.
Yes, basically, I'm currently doing a data sharing agreement, probably next. So within UK and the US as well, but it's still under the negotiation a little bit. But my nearest plan will be sharing the data with the Thailand and Indonesia first. So the data in Indonesia will be tested in Thailand. If it's feasible, then it will be both beneficial for Thai and Indonesia as well, because COVID-19 in Southeast Asia is quite different compared to the Western. So it will be more and strengthened our novelty in research.
That's very good plan, because if you combine these two countries, which is a big country that we get a lot of infection, hotspot.
Hotspot.
So you can increase more sample size. You can increase more number of the patient into your study that can give you even more precision of your modeling prediction model.
For now, I see that we have many audience now, so I would like to invite the audience. If you are still watching us, please say something, give the comment below this clip, and also please like and share this clip. Yes, so we can continue to interview with Dr. Bumi together, and please invite your friend to watch with the Bumi together.
I think we have some on the audience watching from the live stream on Facebook as well. Cphs Dahao, one of our
hi Cphs.
Hi Cphs, our alumni.
Our alumni.
Nepal. Right, we have Kun Pan Gao. Pan Gao said that I couldn't agree more with Dr. Bumi for those 3 words. right? Determination, consistent,
Consistent
and
and resilient.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think
Resilience, right.
many of your classmates or your junior classmate or even your senior classmate that have been known each other for quite some time here in CPHS will also watching you as well. So if you have something to talk to Bumi, you also can just maybe type comments or say hi. Okay.
Or if you have
any
some,
question.
yes, any question that you would
Right,
like to ask Dr. Bumi, please feel free to write down the comments. Or maybe you are still current student and face some difficult situation about your research. You feel suffer to do the thesis,
Right.
something that you can ask some question about the tips from the Bumi. How can he manage his mind, something like that.
So you go Instagram and WhatsApp here.
So during we wait for the questions, I learned that Bumi studied with us since before COVID, right? And during
Right.
COVID, and this is the second wave, right?
Actually, third,
How
fourth
can
already.
you
Third wave.
third wave? So how can you do very well research during the COVID situation, and how you can learn? Because many students wonders about life in the university during COVID situations.
They get some
okay.
obstacle because of the online
Right.
situation.
Traveling
Everything have to do
or
online.
something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I have to say that I'm a student that is mixing between the online and on-site study. But I have to say that you should do a really good time management. I'm sorry, it's quite noisy here. Passing by. Good time management. First of all, if you're able to talk to your supervisor, you can meet anytime using online, or if it's possible and you cannot do the online, you can meet in person, but at least you consider always the health protocols. But for me, I say that during online, it's even better because like you don't need to go out, and then Ajahn is quite flexible somehow. Like many students think that I just don't want to contact Ajahn during the online because it might be busy or something like that. So, but you just text them, and then they might provide you the time, and it's even more convenient, and you don't need to go out. But compared to the offline or on-site, sometimes that you have to make an appointment, and then like, yeah. But many students think that face-to-face is even better. But I think that technology and video helps you a lot to do face-to-face. And then that platform Zoom also allows you to control the computer. So usually like, you should
discuss about the research, about the result, right?
I think once again, you have to be resilient once again to try something new, the facilities, and then try to be consistent with the time. Because if you say that I have to meet this deadline with Ajahn, so I have to remind Ajahn, so that will be really, really on time. I think that's the most important thing. It's like usually when Ajahn Satirakan always said, Ajahn, I need to make an appointment with you, blah, 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 something. And Ajahn said that, okay, let's make an appointment. And then he said, I'm kind of bored with you because we always meet or something like that. But that's okay. That's your rights. You just meet them on-site or online, anything that you want. But I think it's better to be online and then just get used to the online feature that you want, and it will be safer. And I think around this time, it's even better and even easier. So don't worry. Be consistent.
So please open your mind about the technology, about learning online, consult online. Open your mind that it's not different between online and on-site.
Right.
You can finish and graduate between both situation, online and on-site.
Okay. Right now, I have a question from the audience from the Facebook Live. We make Vilai, he asked a question. Could you please share what is the most challenging issue as a PhD student in CPHS?
I don't. The challenging part is that you have at the first beginning of the year, you have to ensure that you get along with your advisor and whether they are in line with your project. Okay, be frankly. Otherwise, when you spend lots of time talking about something which Ajahn quite challenging to understand, then it takes some time because, like we learn a lot. This is a multidisciplinary college. So sometimes Ajahn knows, sometimes Ajahn might not know. And sometimes you have experience. So just tell them, communicate at the very beginning. Strong communication. That's quite challenging because you always refrain yourself from talking to Ajahn, but just talk. And then the second one is to follow the timeline of your research. Sometimes you have to take care, pay attention, ask your friends. Sometimes students always feel like I don't want to ask someone because we might have different project, but just ask. Usually ask about the how long ethic takes, what kind of permission I have to take that, because this particular information sometimes hinders you from making on time, but they're important. Like suppose that you don't catch that information, you will feel quite difficult. So go with some unconventional way, because Ajahn might not know the situation of your research place. So you have to get that. And then finally, at the end, write them in manuscript. Writing the manuscript, you should be consistent. You should follow your proposal. Don't go too far. So if you have a good proposal, you will not be confused. But if you don't do the research really right, or you violate a little bit, so that will be confusing. The result will not be as expected. So be consistent in the data collections and something like that. So first of all, talk to your Ajahn. Second, find some additional informations that might be relevant to your research, which can boost your research permission or something like that. And then the last one is follow the protocol that you have done before.
Okay. Another question we have from Pan Gao. She asks, do you have any feeling like burnout during study or doing the research? If yes, how you manage it? I think burnout is very common, like process of studying PhD, right? Many of PhD students have this kind of feeling.
Ajahn, I always listen to them.
But he has very special. He start his degree since graduate from bachelor degree, different from other students.
Yes,
so
he applied for the master and PhD program continuing.
Yes, we will say that the continuous program from bachelor to PhD doctoral degree. So this is more burnout, maybe.
Okay,
maybe
twice time.
Definitely, I was burnout at that moment when I tried to learn language program using computer, which I have no idea about how to write the R program, Python or something like that. Have a medical doctor learn about that? No.
Yes.
But this is a multidisciplinary thing. Health data science is now common, and then just ask your Ajahn. I asked Ajahn Wandi, is there anyone that can help me to do this, to do the GIS, to do everything like related to technology? And then they will help you. They will help you to find someone who is suitable for you to do your project. At that time, I was so burned out because I have no idea about what kind of alien language I should write it down in the internet or something. But I was so burned out. Like every word that is written by mistake, you cannot get the true code. So it was just like a month. I feel like I should stop. But once again, I always think that you almost finished. Please motivate yourself. You are almost finished. At the moment when you finish your proposal, it's already 50%. So always motivate yourself, like almost finished. Just go straight. Go to the deepest way that you can do. It always motivates you. And then like at the end you can do it. And finally I felt like, oh okay, this is the mistake, and I find it. So be determined and be consistent. That's the point again. Okay.
I can catch up from Dr. Bumi mentioned that the key points that can be successful and can handle with the burden things and obstacle things, you can consult with the advisor. And I agree with that point because I quite sure that all of the lecturers in College of Public Health Science, they feel free to let students to consult.
We are very supportive.
Yes.
Anytime, even in the night, even
24 hours.
24 hours.
Early morning,
Yes.
late night.
So this is the
let
point.
students consult. Yes. And the point
this is the point.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think Bumi feel burdened because his background are the physician, the medical doctor, but his research, he focused on the AI, like a programmer. He have to write down the code by himself. That's why he feel suffer. But finally, he can get through and success anything because he have passion. I think passion will be the one point, one key point to success the PhD life. Because when you feel tired, when you feel burned out, but you still have passion, so you can motivate yourself to continue until success. Yes, I agree with Dr. Bumi. Interesting. Thank you for sharing with us. Okay, any question from the audience?
Right now, we don't have any more questions.
Okay, another question.
Just to ask your motivation when you choose the College of Public Science, since you are about 21 years, the first years, right? At that time, why you decide to learn in doctoral degree?
Oh, so okay, to decide doctoral degree in CPHS, right?
Because you don't have
Right.
any experience, like you just graduate
Right.
college, right? As a
Just
medical
new.
doctor.
Just graduate the
You
bachelor
don't have
degree and then
experience,
continue
yeah.
PhD. Yeah.
I don't know exactly because I'm a person that is not too attached to the clinical world, and I feel like my life, I want to dedicate my life into research. So that's why I think that it's okay to take a doctoral degree, which can boost my confidence in doing research. Because in the past, I used to do some kind of little research, but I think that in order to make a very impactful research, you have to undergo several formal training, which is like the doctoral degree like this. So, and there's a kind of opportunity that, yeah, like me and a bachelor degree goes straight away to the doctoral degree. It's even common right now. So why not? And then why I choose public health, why I choose Thailand, because I always think that I should learn in a place where we have the same problem. And then in a public health that it's not about the technology, it's about like how diverse the health problem that we can face. Sometimes when we learn in the Western country, it's sometimes for me, it's quite inapplicable when we go back to the country or something like this. So that I feel like Thailand is also good. And then Thailand has also a good reputation, especially Chulalongkorn University and especially College of Public Health Science, with its 21 years of experience in creating graduates of public health. I mean, like, it's not questionable at all. So I trust them.
Thank you very much. I feel
Yeah.
very very happy that I know that our program can answer your expectation. Yeah.
Yes, and I think that I noticed one thing that compared to when we study in Indonesia. So usually in Indonesia, that when you go to the doctoral degree or something like that, you might find it difficult to talk to your supervisor because there is a kind of limitations or something like that. But I have to assure barrier or something. Yeah, you know what kind of barrier is that? But I have to tell you, talk to Ajahn in here is even easier. I even talk to Ajahn Kraiwood in the middle of the midnight. It's okay if you think that, because I think I'm sorry, sometimes it might be bothering the Ajahn, but sometimes inspiration comes anytime, right? And then like you want to talk to your Ajahn like immediately. Okay. So they really open to you. So when Ajahn want to say 24 hours ready, yes, they truly open. So one point from CPHS is they're really open and the staff are really supporting and the teachers are great. Okay, don't worry.
24
so that's my
hours
point.
lecture.
24-hour lecture.
Many students will consult with me via line or via
Right.
phone call
And even,
at the midnight or maybe 1 a.m.
Right.
2 a.m. Yes. Because
Right.
they get some inspiration or get some
Right.
idea at the midnight, something like
at the midnight. Right. That's a point.
You treat them like a friend.
Yeah.
That's the thing I would like to tell.
I think all of the lecturers from College of Public Health Science, they feel that we try to help students as much as we can.
Right.
We try on our best to let students graduate as fast as they can and try to help them to feel happy during the studying with us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should be happy.
Well,
We
like
should be happy.
one thing that we kind of care about the international student is because we know that how you feel when you have to be far away from home, study far from your family, not the place where you have been living before, different language, culture, different, and so many things. So we want to make sure that everyone here who study with us are comfortable to live here and study here and get what you want. Yeah.
Not feel homesick.
Yeah.
No, you will not feel homesick at all.
You will
This
be
is
never
the
homesick,
international
right?
college. This is an international, you can speak English. You don't need to worry about speaking Thai or something like that. It feels like your home, totally like your home.
Yes, it's great to hear that.
And they provide lots of scholarship, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the most important point, right?
The most point, right?
Right. Because
right.
from the graduate school also we have, and also from internal scholarship that the school of Public Health, College of Public Health Science, we also have internal scholarship for all students at the beginning for studying. their research, right? They're seeding money for starting the research. Right?
Thank you very much. And lastly, before we end our interview at CPHS Talk episode 4, I would like Dr. Bumi to say something or leave some message to the current student or maybe your junior student, and also to the audience that maybe they still make a decision that they will continue master degree or PhD or not, something like that. So you can leave some message or say something to them, please.
Okay. For all my friends ชีวิตมันลำบากนะครับ but this time please open a new communication again to your ajahn. Go back and touch your project again and gain your spirit to do that. Until you get the pace, you will do much better. And then because if you left it for so long, you don't have any passion to do it anymore. So now just start talking to your ajahn. Talk just like a friend, and then open your project again, and then start setting your milestone again, and then you will back to the pace. And then that's the way you can success. Determined, consistent, and resilient. Okay, that's my simple words, but you have to do that. Okay, maybe next time, maybe after this, Ajahn Poket, Ajahn Kraiwood, and Ajahn Batasin will have lots of students to talk to you. Right. That's my point. Right. Just go back and talk and set everything at the beginning again. Okay, that's my point.
And finally, before we leave, I would like to invite Dr. Watasit, our Deputy Dean of College of Public Health Science, to say something to the audience or maybe the foreigner student that will coming to study with us, as you are the academic Deputy of Dean. So you have to face many difficult situations from the student, many problems, so you can suggest anything to them.
One point that Bumi mentions about trust, that is very important one. If you trust something, I think you would be success. Like you trust our ajahn, our professors, they would direct you to the goal, right? This is very important. And the other thing is that do what you love to do.
Right.
I think at the beginning you love to do on the technology, on models, on computer lights or something. So then you success on this point. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all the students, because every single research has its own advantage, right? Can be benefit to, like we can say that, to mankind of this point. I think I have this point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Watasit. So I would like to invite you, the audience, if you are interested to study with us, you can send some message through our Facebook, and also you can visit our website, yes, College of Public Health Science, Chulalongkorn University. Or if you need some information, please feel free to comment down here, like and share this clip to your friend. Yeah. And we will come back for the next episode later. And then for today, before I end up this clip, I would like to thank you, Dr. Lumi Hermann, our outstanding student, our alumni who received the HIFA or High Impact Factor Award that joined our interview today. And me, Poket Bongsasulak, and Dr. Kraiwood Kanwisha, and Deputy of Dean, Dr. Watasit Siriwong, would like to say goodbye to all the audience, and we will come back for the next episode later. For today, สวัสดีค่ะ
CPHS Talk, brought to you by College of Public Health Science Chulalongkorn University. Good health is the best wealth. We need health sciences for good health and well-being.